Hey everyone, Tony here, bringing up an update to Tesla. There's been a crazy parabolic movement, as everyone I'm sure has seen. Um, we're looking at a jump from, I think it was 650 high last week to a peak today of 972. I believe that's what it is. Um, it's insane. So I wanted to kind of break this down and see what we are looking at here on the weekly. So I wanted to bring this fib down here and then draw some extensions. So if we draw extensions, we'll see that you can see that in a factor of just, I mean, what is this, like 10 weeks, give or take. It's it's been mind-blowing. So it beat the 2.618, which is a pretty significant extension. And it looks like it's at a, just to guess here, we're at a 4x higher. So probably a 4.4. Maybe no, maybe a 4.2. Which means that the likely next stop with this parabolic movement, we're looking at probably a 4.618 if it continues that route, which leaves us at 1,027. That would be amazing. Now, this is a big heads up to everybody. Please don't just jump into this stock. It's just shot up like crazy, and there could be a very drastic move down. So, not financial advice, but I would stay away from this stock. I would observe it and see what happens, but there's likely to be a pullback. These kind of moves just usually they can't keep going forever. It may, I mean, who knows? It may go up to 2,000, but at this point, I think it's just the market overreacting. Retail is just jumping in, fear of missing out, FOMO. You can see that the RSI is at a peak of 93 or so, almost 94. That's really high. That's really high. I would look for it to cross over. We're on the weekly, so I would wait for it to cross over. We still have some time for that, but these parabolic movements, just as fast as they go up, they go down just as fast or faster. So just keep an eye on it. The one good sign is that there's volume, that it's maintaining itself. I mean, this volume has not actually. This week's bar volume is higher than the last, not the third week, but it's pretty high. So that's a good sign. I mean, there's volume coming in here, but that volume's not going to be there forever. People are going to want to sell out and pocket. So that's my word of advice. Stochastic is still in the overbought region. Doesn't mean that it's going to dump anytime soon, but it's good to keep it in mind. It hasn't dipped below the 80, so I think there might be some more either upside before a break or just maintaining this price. So let's go into the daily. So the 1D. Yeah, you can see how crazy these last couple of weeks have been. Let's redraw this fib. Let's go up here. So if we draw this, you know what? Let's take this one out and redraw it. So let's put it here to there. And you can see that we're actually, so from this swing low to this swing high on January 22nd, if we draw extensions on that, we are just below the 2.618, between the 2 and the 2.618. It's very likely that we come down to the 1.618, but it's just so parabolic that my biggest reason for posting this is just to give people a heads up, not to just FOMO and rush in and buy at these all-time highs. I'm worried that a lot of people are going to get burned or wrecked, as they say. I would, if you're really bullish and you want to buy into Tesla, which there's a lot of upside. I mean, there's just no doubt. But I would seriously consider looking at this swing low to this swing high of, I mean, you can even go as high as this as today. But I like this because we had a small retracement there. So at least a pullback to 435. It looks like it's far away now, but you'd be surprised how quickly this can come if it rolls over. That 382, if we go to today's all-time high, you're looking at 666. So I don't know if that's a sign. I don't know if that's a warning there, guys. So between the 382 and the 618, if you're truly bullish, a pullback there, especially the 618 where the 50 EMA is now touching, it seems like a pretty solid area. And look here, the 200 EMA is at the 786. So this little zone, which this has shifted up into, would be my best suggestion if you were really wanting to buy the stock. Again, this is not financial advice. Sometimes I might misspeak here, but nothing I say is financial advice. It's just my observations and statistically what may not happen, or at the very least, if you use these Fibonacci levels, it gives you a better entry point. If you're patient, if you're willing to wait and not FOMO with the others, you can get, at the very least, a better entry point. If you're shorting, good luck, because every time this looks like it's a good short, it keeps going higher. So I would not recommend anything with Tesla at this point until things kind of calm down. On the RSI, you can see that we've been stuck pretty much. We had a small pullback to the 50 on the RSI. This was in December, but ever since we've been, the lowest is 70, which in traditional markets it's overbought. So it has been pretty much overbought since, I'd say, mid-December. So I mean, that's a long time to be in the overbought region. Sorry, but it doesn't mean anything. That just means that it's a strong stock. But it also gives you a heads up that, you know, we may be due for a correction sooner than later. Same thing with the stochastic. It just keeps touching that the 70. I'm sorry, the 80 on the stochastic, and it looks like it's going to roll over, and it keeps just dancing between the 80 and the 100. So what I would look for to see if it's truly if it's going to turn around and give you a correction is crossover of the stochastic and then dropping below the 80, and same thing with the RSI. I want to see a crossover. In this particular, it's the EMA, and then crossing below the 80 or the 70, and then just once you see those two things happen, most likely we're looking for a correction at the very least to the 382, possibly the 618. And that's about it. This is just a quick video to give you an update on Tesla. I know that everywhere I tune into, most people that I talk to that are into stocks, they bring it up. So it's in everybody's mouth, and when that happens, things tend to kind of get overbought. There's just a lot of emotion. So just my word of advice here, and again, I shouldn't say that because it's not financial advice, but in my opinion, you should consider holding off, letting everything settle down, seeing what happens in the next couple of days, couple of weeks. And yeah, you may miss out on some up. Maybe this goes to 2,000, to 1,500, to I think we said 1,100 was the 4.618. It may go up there, but in my opinion, the risk is just not worth the reward. But I'll keep an eye on it. If it keeps going higher, then it'll prove everybody wrong. So we'll see. But it just looks a little bit. It keeps looking for the longest time like it's just overbought. But we'll see. Be safe out there, and don't go too crazy with this. Don't FOMO. Take care, guys.